Let's talk about how to build a $1,000 portfolio from scratch. So with no further ado, guys, let's just go ahead and jump straight in. Listen, guys, I've been trading for over 6 years. And about 6 months ago, I really made the decision that I wanted to become a better trader. So in the past 5 months here, I've tracked over 1,000 plus breakout trades. And currently right now, I'm trading multiple one-on-one students all at the same time. So a lot of this stuff that I work in with it daily. I'm trading daily. I'm working with one-on-one students daily. I see where they mess up daily. So all the things that I'm going to tell you are things that I would tell my one-on-one students. And if I had to start over from $1,000 scratch, these are the metrics that I would grade myself upon. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight in. So if I was talking to myself here and I said, okay, Andrew, the very first thing that we need to talk about is I would talk about mindset first, because everybody wants to talk about setups and strategies. That's actually why you're here on YouTube. That's actually why you're here on my channel, is because you want a new shiny strategy or a new shiny setup, because nobody wants to talk about mindset, because number one, it doesn't pull views on YouTube because nobody really wants to talk about it. Everybody thinks they have a great mindset. Oh, my mindset is so great. And then number two is most people won't admit that mindset is their problem. When all the one-on-one students that I've tracked, the skill set is easy. The setups are easy. It's clicking buttons and making money. The reason why most traders aren't successful is because of their mindset. So the number one mindset that I would tell myself is that in the first 6 months to a year, trading is not going to be worth it when it comes down to how much money I make per hour. Now, let me explain this to you. If I start off with a $1,000 account, what are realistic expectations for me to grow that account? Some people here on YouTube are going to try and fluff you up. You should double it. You should triple it. You should quadruple it. They make all of these stupid, it's not helping anybody when people say that. Realistically speaking, a professional day trader, anywhere from 15 to 30% is phenomenal growth for a small portfolio. So if you grow a $1,000 account by 15 to 30% in your very first month, you have done an exceptional job. But you know what the problem with having a small account and only growing at about 15% is? 15% of $1,000 is only $150. So let's be real here. For the first month, let's talk about what you're going to invest versus what you're going to get out. To make 15 to 30%, here's the metrics I would hold myself to. Number one, I need to show up at least 3 times per week. And in those 3 trading sessions, I need to be trading for at least about 2 hours, which means I'm going to be trading about 6 hours per week. You multiply that by 4 weeks in a month, and you get about 24 hours. So you're going to be trading 24 hours a month, and you're only going to make $150. And that's if you execute like you're supposed to. I'm not even going to go over journaling all of your trades like you should, or studying your setup and tracking your setup like you should, like I do every single week. So I would actually be putting more time in. I would probably be pushing 30 to 40 plus hours here. And I'm only going to make $150. Imagine you go into a full-time job, you working 30 hours in a week and only getting paid $150. You wouldn't do it. You would quit. And that's why most people quit in a small account. You got to ask yourself, do you know anybody personally that's grown a small $1,000 account? No. The reason why is because in the first 6 months to a year, it's not even really worth your time. If you're going to go into this, you have to have a long time horizon here. You have to understand that you're not going to get any results that are really going to be exciting for 6 months to 12 months. Now, how can you combat this? The way you can combat this is by taking that $1,000 account and by adding money every single month to it. But in order to do that, you have to have your finances in shape. So what are some things that you can do? Number one, you can start checking your bank account every single day. That's number one. Number two, you can start laying out all your expenses on a spreadsheet. That's number two. So you know exactly how much you spend, and you can take anywhere from a few percent all the way up to 10% and invest that into this $1,000 account per month. Something that you're not willing to lose money that you don't need. But for so many people don't even have their expenses in order. So many people are living paycheck to paycheck and feel like they don't have any money to add to their account. You got to find a way to make that happen. That's the number one way that you grow your account. You add money to it every single month. Add as much as you can. But if you don't, just realize that first month, it's not going to be worth it. The second month, the third month, the fourth month. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way and our mindset is, okay, cool, Andrew, I'm going to be doing this for the next 5 years. This is a skill that I want to learn because I know if I execute on a long enough time horizon, 10% of 100,000 is $10,000. I want to get to that point. Okay, cool. Now I'm focused on a long enough time horizon. Now, number two, I need to set KPIs. I need to set expectations. This is me coming to you from 6 years of experience. What would I expect out of myself to grow an account? 15 to 30%. But the only reason I would expect that out of myself is because I have the setups, I have the strategies, and I have all of the track data. Over the past 6 months, I wanted to improve as a trader. I've been doing this for 6 years now, but I wanted to get even better. And more importantly, when I was teaching my one-on-one students, I wanted every single one of my strategies to be backed by data. So over the past 6 months, I've spent hours and hours and hours of tracking setups, and I've tracked over 1,000 plus trades in the past 6 months. All of the breakouts that have happened in the past 6 months, I've tracked them, and now I'm up to over 1,000 plus trades. And I did that because I wanted to have cold hard data on where I put my take profit, where I put my stop loss, etc. So the reason why I can shoot that for 15 to 30% is because I have all of this data. Now, unfortunately, most of you don't. So realistically wise, if you're just starting off to this and you're just trying to make money, you don't have a system and you're just kind of winging it, you don't really know when to take profits, you don't know when to get into a trade, realistically, you're probably going to lose money. Yeah, and what's going to happen is, let me tell you what's going to happen. Even if you grow, let's say best case scenario, you grow your account by 15%. You're going to realize that, man, I spent 24 hours doing this and I only made 150 bucks. Now my portfolio is sitting at 1,150 bucks. So in your second month, you're going to be like, man, I'm tired of this. And finally, one day you're going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you're going to decide to go all in on the trade. Oh man, this trade looks so good. And you're going to go all in and you're going to lose. And then before you know it, your portfolio is going to be at 900 and you're going to go on this downward spiral where you go all in on multiple trades, trying to get back to your original amount, and you can't do it. And now you've turned $1,000 into $100. And I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to that have done this exact same thing. So many of you watching this video are probably nodding to this because you've probably done it yourself. All right. Okay. So number one, if you guys want to sign up for my 6-week challenge, you can join with the first link down below where I share all of the data that I've tracked over 1,000 plus trades. You don't have to, but if you want to know all of my setups and strategies that I look for that are backed by data, I have a 6-week challenge. If you finish the challenge, you get a full refund. All you got to do is finish the 6 weeks with me, and I'm so damn confident that you'll be a better trader and you'll appreciate everything that I do for you, that you'll take that deposit that you have to put down and you'll roll that into long-term coaching. Click the first link down below. Check it out if you're a serious trader. You really want to level up. Now, 15 to 30% would be my expectations. But let's talk about position sizing because that's something that I can easily give you a tip for. So for position sizing, for me, my setups and my strategy, I always recommend to my one-on-one students, the number one way you can mess up my system and strategy is by not having enough trades. If you have $1,000, you're probably trading in a cash account, which means if you trade with $1,000 in one trade, then that money doesn't settle again until the next day. So you're all out of trades. So what I need to do is I need to break this up into bare minimum, most of the time, 7 trades, right? Which means you're only going to be trading with about $120, $130 per trade. So it's going to be very boring for you. You might not even take full 7 trades in a day. If you wanted to get super aggressive, you could divide it into 4. But the only reason you would ever be dividing this into 4 trades is if you've had over 1,000 plus tracked setups and you know there's an A plus setup that really, when it hits, not only does it hit, but it's a high risk to reward as well, where you're risking a little to make a lot. That's the only time you should ever divide it into 4. Most of you should stick right here around 7 trades. So now, okay, now I know my position sizing. I'll take $1,000. I'll divide that by 7. So now maybe I'm going in with around $120, $130 per trade. Maybe $115. I don't know what the math is off the top of my head, but let's say it's $115. Okay, I'm going in with $115. What I would expect out of myself daily, and I'm going to give you guys a tip here, all of the 1,000 plus trades that I've tracked in the past 6 months, the time frame that has the best risk to reward setups, like I'm talking about A plus setups that I end up taking, are from 8 to 9 a.m. EST. That's a little, just a tad bit for you guys over the 1,000 plus breakout trades that I've tracked. 8 to 9 a.m. is phenomenal. I would never in my life miss that damn time frame. And if I could only just dedicate 1 hour to trading every single day, it would be from 8 to 9 a.m. And really, if I could, I would try to squeeze it all the way to 8 to 9:30 because my most effective setup happens between 9 a.m. to 9:30. So 8 to 9:30, 1.5 hour time frame, at least 3 to 4 hours per week. So I would trade that one. But I will say, if you can't be available for this one, the only other times that I would really consider, maybe from 11 to 12, which for some of you are around lunchtime. So if you have a full-time job, you can't make it to this. Let's say you got to be at work at 8 a.m., but you have lunch maybe from 11 to 12. There are some really good setups that happen from 11 to 12. That would probably be my number 2 pick. Not great risk to reward, but very high win rate for some setups that happen in that time frame. All right, cool. So now I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up at least 3 times per week, and I'm going to stick to only my setups that happen in my time frame. And I'm going to pick one. I'm either going to be trading 8 to 9:30, or I'm going to be trading 11 to 12. For me, it would be 8 to 9:30. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade every single day. And at the end of every single day, I'm going to track my trades. And here are some of the things that I track that if I had to start over, I would continue to track. Number one, I track my entry price that I got in at. I track the setup. I track, did I follow the setup the way I was supposed to? Was my stop loss? What was my take profits? And I also take notes if I ever change the plan. And also the big thing that you want to track here is you want to track your actual results. And this is the big one. The actual results that you're getting right now versus, and this is how I know my system is good, versus projected, right? Because your actual results, if you go into, like, for example, you create a system, you create rules, you look for very specific setups because you want to take emotion out of trading. But what happens is you get into these setups, you make these rules, and then you get into a trade, you get emotional, and then you end up breaking those rules. So what I do in my journal for my one-on-one students, I have a section that is their actual profits of what they made versus their projective if they never would have changed the plan. And the goal is to have these damn near about the same. Your actual should be the same as the projected, but I promise you, once you get into trading and you let your emotions catch a hold of you, you're going to end up making mistakes, and your actual is going to be different from your projected. And this will always be able to let you know and give you more confidence in your system overall. Say, if I just followed the plan here, this is how much that I would make, and you should track that daily versus what you're actually making, because you're messing up execution, or you're missing setups, or you're changing the plan mid-plan. So that's how I would start off here if I was trying to grow $1,000 account. What I just went over with you are the core basics that you got to understand. Number one, you got to understand the mindset of all of this. Number two, position sizing. We went over that. Very, very important. And number three, like realistic expectation of how many hours I'm going to put in, and is it going to be worth it? So basically, if you take this and you put it on a long enough time horizon, you continue to grow that by 15 to 30% per month, then it's going to be worth it. Maybe a year and a half down the line. But right now, over the next 6 to 12 months, you need to put your head down. You need to just focus. And if you can, get your expenses in order at home and continue to add money to this account. And that's how you're really going to grow it as quick as possible. Let me know if this video was valuable, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.